fucking hate that Cat does this.
Cat does what?
All of these fucking hoses to do. Ever. Don't ever send them.
Send what? I think we have a hose machine, I guess.
Every fucking kit comes like that. Can you open that? See what's in there?
Heavy.
What is that?
Zip ties per usual. Alrighty, so this is the Cat's kit to swap over the coupler hydraulics to this newer style, where it's actually hydraulics rather than that stupid electric motor that anyone with an older Cat skid steer knows does not work. So forks are currently stuck on here right now, but we're gonna get working on that. Thankfully we have the next gen to compare to, see what we gotta do. What are you trying to cut?
This, so I can get this out. See how it's up against the forks?
Yeah, right there's, you're on the pin right there. Why don't you just cut the coupler motor out? Probably would have been a better idea. You want the Sawzall?
I'll cut it right here.
Yeah, just cut that bar.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's actually, I knew I used to cut them in half, but when I was looking at that chrome side, it was well, that's
double check, make sure that's unlocked. To swap it over to the hydraulic style, like I said, thankfully we have a skid steer with the hydraulic style. That is what these two hoses right here are for. That in this kit, I forget what they do with the hoses, but the hoses, you have to measure it and have a hose made, but there's no reason why they shouldn't be this. We just gotta double check, make sure the solenoid where those hoses are going will actually be the same on the older skid steer as it is on the new skid steer.
get the pins though.
New ones probably wouldn't hurt it. Is that one worn?
It's a lot easier to take off than the motor one.
Yeah, it's a little lighter.
Alright, let's inspect the damage.
Hey, they're not worn through. be a little one. A little slop. Well, these are a little warm.
Little holes in the top.
Oh, good. I'm assuming it's right about there. These have bushings. Doesn't look like it.
Oh, just slap new pins on. Let me see it.
I would say it doesn't. So, I'll see how much the pins are.
Just gonna grab new pins for the whole, all of them.
All 4 new pins.
And 2 new bushings. Is this tank that's in here empty?
The small one.
The real small one?
There's only one small one.
Blue one over here?
What?
There's blue one over here?
Yeah.
Small or up for 2?
This is kind of the first step. So this block, which will hold the hydraulic lines. So that goes right here. So just go on that.
Huh?
And it's about 83 mil from right here to here. We'll get that welded on. It's gonna come up like this, right?
That one over there, it's like this.
So you got this bar, so they're gonna have to come up clear, because you're gonna want them to clear this and not be touching that. So if it goes like this,
In the picture, it looks like this.
it's just flat.
Yeah.
We'll go with flat.
From there up in here. There's gotta be something that allows us to just see over there. That little spacer looking thing is just a threaded piece, so I don't know if that is what they want you to weld onto here.
Say that again?
So you know that little spacer thing that's over there?
Yeah.
So that's threaded. So it's like almost just like something you weld on and you can thread a bolt in.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's what they want you to put right here. But then it comes up.
There's
Up
no
in here.
pictures in this though.
Might be able to.
hot, Mike.
Well, you got fucking wood chips coming off of it.
You need your gloves.
Chris, do you have a block or something right there? You could
Everybody, what?
take block. 'Cause you're not gonna be all the way.
Oh. Well, that didn't work. Just snap that bit right in half.
There it is.
So we gotta take those hoses off so that we can put this mount for these hoses. They get bolted to the arms right behind here, and then the hoses go inside the arm up here, all the way up here. These are them right here. They go inside. You can see them right here. Then they go to that solenoid block right there. So we're gonna have to do that on the other skid steer.
That looked like pretty like straight too.
Yeah. Oh, push the adjustable towards the cab
It's already
to
up,
turn it down.
it's already up against it.
You should be able to put a wrench on this side, no? Because it's gonna want to just tighten everything, no? That worked. Alright, so the hoses will come out like this. They'll go into this block that we welded on. We'll then come up here. There'll be another clamp. We drilled a hole here and we threaded it for a 1/2-inch bolt. That will hold that on. The instructions are pretty vague on how to actually do that. The hoses will then come over here. They'll go in this hole here with these electrical cords. The hose will run down the arm here, and they supply us with these weld-on bosses. And so one will go right here in this, and the hoses will actually come out of that hole. There'll be a boss right there like that, so the hoses will come out, hit that, make the same exact loop as these factory hoses here, will then go down there. No real good way to avoid from having to grind and weld on this, but it is what it is. Yeah, so we'll get a little farther and bring you along. Alrighty, we have the first boss welded on, painted on. Like I said, the hose will come out of that hole. There'll be a clamp there. We'll put the arms down, get the other one welded on. Yeah. We got the bracket welded on for the solenoid valve block. This will go on there just like that. Once we get that painted up, we can mount that block, and then we can get the electrical wiring harness in and figure out our hose lengths. The kit does not come with the hoses, so we have to get hose lengths and then have the hoses made up. One of the other problems that we're trying to fix is the whole track is like out, the bushings are all worn. You can see how much farther inside. Trying to fix is the bushings here, which is this piece, and then is this piece right here, are worn. You can see it's wearing the inside of the track as well.
Sparking's not good, Chris. I have to cut that with a torch.
This thing's probably pretty hot. I am making a dent. Can you just take a chisel and see if you can drive it
Well,
up?
if I take the
Back on the bushing thing, we were able to just heat them up a little bit and push them out with the air hammer. And so now we're going to try out the liquid nitrogen, see if we can cool the new bushings, and hopefully they just slide right in. Whew.
Gonna recommend it. How long is that?
Fucking 2 minutes. We got the bushing in there. You gotta hammer it, Mike. A little more, a little more. A little more, a little more. Ooh, just a touch more, touch more. Keep going, keep going. Hold it, hold it. See how that went? That's how it's done.
3 to 5 minutes is what you need to do.
I don't know. Yeah, like it's hard to gauge on how cold, like how long it takes for it to get cold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't know what like the temperature it needs to be, but like online it says that that's like negative 350 or something like that Fahrenheit. So I don't know if
It's definitely cold, because look at what it's doing to that fan.
yeah. So I wonder how like it evaporates. I wonder if the styrofoam cup will make it so it doesn't evaporate as fast. You know what I mean? Because it's the warmer it is, like around it, the faster it evaporates.
Well, that's why I think it's not bubbling like it was anymore, because that can is
Cold now.
literally fucking frozen. If you hit that with a hammer, it'd probably shatter.
Yeah,
Well,
probably.
it just, all the snow just fell off it, and
I actually wonder when you get this bushing out, if you flip that can over and hit it with a hammer or something, will it shatter?
This is still cold. This is still good. Genuine Doyle quality.
You got frostbite on any of your fingertips?
Yeah.
that's actually pretty easy.
Yeah, once you get the
Once you know what the fuck to do.
out of your system, it's actually
Get the
okay.
craziness. Oh yeah. Oh, it didn't shatter.
No,
Our local welding supply place is where we got the liquid nitrogen from. They lend out the DEWAR, whatever you call this container. They lend it out with like a core charge basically, so when you bring it back you get the money back. And then they this is a 10-liter container, so they sell it basically in 10-liter increments, and I think it was $42.50 for the 10 liters, which is pretty affordable. I've seen these containers on Amazon for about, I think it was like right under $200 you can buy the container. I got to go back Monday morning and return it, but not that big of a deal. It's certainly the way to do bushings. It's the first time we've ever done it this way. It's a whole lot easier than pressing them in or beating them in somehow. So it's certainly, you just got to be a little careful. I don't know, I did a little reading online. You just don't want to get it any of it on your skin. You'll get frostbite like instantly, supposedly. So, but we were wearing gloves and stuff, but it was successful. So definitely would recommend the method. So our plan is we're gonna put a new set of tracks on. We're actually gonna pull the whole undercarriage off. We're gonna put it up on some sawhorses. We'll sandblast and paint them. As you can tell, they're starting to look a little crummy. I think those painted up will give this thing a nice fresh look. Like I said, those bushings need to be replaced. You can really see it, how it's kind of hard to tell on the camera because of the wide view, but they're like pointed out. They're out like that, and they're tipped in like that, which is causing the uneven wear in the tracks. But this is, I believe, what Cat calls heavy duty. We're gonna put the extreme duty ones on. So. Jack it up. Got the track off of this side. Mike's just doing the hoses. All it is let's see. I don't know where they're at. There's just a cap, 2 bolts there, and right there. Pull that off, and this whole thing will come off. Yeah.
That can only come in like next to the hose.
Oh, you do? Seems like it's caught in the back a little bit, though, Mike.
Off the back.
Oh, it's off the back? There we go.
Swing this way. Got it.
I don't know if I've ever seen the track frame off the skid steer before. You come this way. So what's this thing right here, Mike? Is this more of like a ball kind of style?
That's a bearing. That's whipped.
No, it's like a socket, I think.
It's like a but it's obviously whipped.
Obviously, yeah.
And you get that thing almost comes out because of the snap ring right there.
Yeah. Huh,
So,
okay.
where are we putting this?
You want to back your truck up? We got the blaster set up. We got the track frame on the horses. And so, a notorious kind of problem with these skid steers is this sensor right here. It's a sensor for a drive motor, or for the drive motor. And it causes like erratic steering, and sometimes it'll immobilize the skid steer. And I don't know if it was this side or the other side of that skid steer, but the warning code was happening and it was starting to drive pretty crappy, where it would kind of like, you'd be driving and it just like all of a sudden like want to turn on its own. Hard to grade with the skid steer and do kind of fine precision things when it's starting to steer by itself. So we will definitely change out that sensor over here. It's going to get new sprockets. A lot of these rollers have actually already been replaced, so we're not super concerned about those. One on the other side is leaking its oil out, so that's ready to be replaced. We do have a replacement for it, but besides that, we're basically good to go. Hopefully we can get this blasted and get this painted for the end of the day. Both sides are now sandblasted, ready for some paint. Still got some good daylight out, so all the rust is basically gone. Yeah, these things are gonna look brand new. So this right here is a bushing, and this side is basically good. I'm not gonna be able to see this side, so I didn't do them. But this bushing, we're gonna try and replace this bushing, and we were thinking of replacing the whole thing, because you can see here the tracks actually gouged a couple grooves in, but those things are about $400 or $500 a piece, potentially still also needing the bushing. And these sensors we looked up are $400 a piece, so those are a must. So we're gonna see if we can get these bushings out, and we might have to do the liquid nitrogen trick again on those. But these back ones are definitely, this one's like jammed in there, it's put in place, but these rear bushings here are definitely the main culprit. They're very loose. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but those are very loose. But we'll get the sandblast and stuff put away, and we'll get some paint stuff out, and we'll start squirting some paint on here. While I was sandblasting, Mike kind of went back over here to run the hoses for the new coupler on this skid steer. So he's got both of them out here. The skid steer looks funky though with no tracks on it, that's for sure. But, making good progress, right, Mike? On the solenoid block, the turn on the solenoid block is the last hose here. We have to connect it to the bottom of the hydraulic tank. And the little trick is to take the vacuum, put the end up to the tank, and when he takes it apart underneath the tank, that creates a vacuum in there and doesn't let any drain out. Messless.
In there? Or do you need like rags to make up some space?
Look at that.
Good?
Yeah, it's fucking the same size.
Meant to be?
Ready?
Yep.
Feel it? Fucking hose. The bottom of the tank is open right now. That's the drain to this tank.
And it's fucking rusty.
Single drop.
There's probably just a little bit in.
Yeah, it's just a little bit right yeah.
Fucking dry as a bone.
One of the best tricks in the book. And that's how you do that without losing a drop. Totally dry in there.
Dirty in there.
Genuine Caterpillar standard performance top coat asphalt. Oop, I don't know what that was. There was something on the end of this. I ordered a fancy mixer, but it was supposed to be here yesterday. I guess Amazon thought we didn't need it. Sometimes these cans have been sitting around for a long time. Cat. But this one was actually wasn't half bad. Alrighty, so this is I don't know how much there are things about this that I love. There are things about this that I don't love. We'll run some microphones through this gun. It's never been used. I just bought it today. So I'm just going to run a little bit through it. One, so I can kind of have an idea. So this thing goes in there, snaps down. And this goes over like that. And this thing, I bring the gun upside down. See, that's going to screw me up. See, there's actually a filter in there, which is very nice. This is pretty well set up here. Ooh. I'd say this is the only thing that's a little wonky about it, that I'm unsure of. Let me just try to save. That would be my only thing. It's just a little wonky. Oh. See how much of a mess we can make. I hate full cans of paint. Just throw it off. About that, just in case. And typically filter it, but we have so many forms of filtering on this thing. I'm not too concerned about it. Put this back on. We don't want a bunch of shit.